After successfully conquering Aphrodite's troll challenges, it seemed like Psyche and Eros would have some peaceful days. However, Chapter 8, titled Jealousy Pouting the Whole Universe, Drama of a Divine Love Triangle, promises a new storm brewing. A shocking rumor that will shake Olympus about Psyche hooking up with Zeus himself will spread like a virus, causing Eros to become so jealous he'll be pouting the whole universe. Psyche will be dumbfounded as she doesn't understand what's happening. This chapter will reveal increasingly over-the-top and fabricated gossip on Olympus, even featuring memes of Psyche and Zeus being intimate. Besides this, we will see Zeus's innocence, in quotes, the jealousy of other goddesses, and how Aphrodite will fish in troubled waters to drive a wedge between the young couple. Fiery conflict between Eros and Psyche is inevitable, leading to a divine version of a Cold War full of drama but no less humorous. Will their love be strong enough to overcome this jealousy challenge, or will it break under Aphrodite's schemes? Let's look forward to the dramatic and troll developments in Chapter 8. A few peaceful days pass like a sweet dream after so many trolling and pants-dropping challenges with future mother-in-law Aphrodite. Psyche finally got to enjoy truly romantic moments with Eros on Mount Olympus. Secret dates under the moonlight, whispers as sweet as melting honey, stolen kisses behind ancient marble columns all painted a picture of love as beautiful as in mythology. Psyche thought that after so many hardships, happiness had finally smiled upon her. But life is not always a dream, especially in a place as full of drama as Olympus, with more stars than in the sky. A toxic wind carrying malicious rumors began to creep into the conversations of the gods, spreading like a super-infectious virus, even more contagious than those silly trends in the human world. In the center of this rumor storm was none other than Psyche, the brand new daughter-in-law of the divine family. Have you heard? Psyche, that mortal girl, dares to hook up with Zeus. Really? Zeus, the king of the gods, messing around with a human? What a ridiculous story. Ridiculous, my foot. I heard they even secretly date behind Eros' back. The buzzing gossip spread from idle goddesses who loved to chew the fat to high-ranking gods sipping nectar. Initially, Eros was skeptical, even laughing at such nonsense. Who would believe that a small human like Psyche could catch the eye of Zeus, famous for his collection of lovers ranging from divine to mortal? But then the rumors became more and more winged, embroidered with such sensational details that even Eros, who was deeply in love, couldn't help but feel a chill down his spine. People began to whisper about Psyche accidentally bumping into Zeus in secluded places, the flirtatious glances they caught, and there were even photos, though more a product of vivid imagination than reality, of Psyche and Zeus being intimate together. The climax of the matter was when Eros accidentally overheard a conversation between two goddesses. Goddess 1, did you see Psyche and Zeus strolling together in the royal garden yesterday? They were laughing and talking so happily. Goddess 2, oh my gods, unbelievable, Eros must be getting horned. Hearing this, the hot blood in Eros began to boil. Although he tried to reassure himself that these were just baseless rumors, a tiny seed of doubt began to sprout in his heart. Psyche and Zeus, strolling together, leaning on his shoulder, those images kept swirling in his head. Despite trying to convince himself they were just idle words, a small crack had appeared in his trust for Psyche. As for Psyche, she was completely shocked when she heard the whispers and gossip around her. She didn't understand what was happening. She and Zeus had only met a few times by chance, and their conversations revolved around ordinary social topics. How could everything be woven into such a thrilling love affair story? When Psyche tried to explain to Eros, he became cold and distant. The look in his eyes no longer held the tenderness and trust as before, but instead a smoldering suspicion and jealousy. Don't you believe me, Eros? Psyche asked painfully. Eros remained silent, turning his face away, not daring to look her in the eye. That silence was like a knife stabbing straight into Psyche's heart. She felt helpless and deeply hurt. Why could baseless rumors destroy their relationship so easily? Olympus gossip context. The rumor about the shady relationship between Psyche and Zeus quickly became the hottest topic on Mount Olympus. The gods, already accustomed to complex love dramas, had even more reason to add fuel to the fire. The stories being woven became increasingly over the top and absurd. People began spreading memes of Psyche and Zeus being intimate together, from photos of them enjoying nectar at sunset to moments of them exchanging passionate kisses on fluffy clouds. Of course, it was all a product of the supernatural imagination and divine Photoshop skills of a few idle gods. Aphrodite, Eros' mother, did not miss this opportunity to take revenge on Psyche. She gloated at seeing her sons suffer and be jealous. Aphrodite constantly hinted and provoked Eros, making him even more lose face and doubt Psyche. "Oh, my beloved son," Aphrodite pretended to comfort Eros, but her tone contained mockery. "I told you that mortal girl wasn't worthy of you. See, she's only been here a few days and already playing both sides." Aphrodite's venomous words were like pouring gasoline on the embers of jealousy burning in Eros' heart. He began to believe that the rumors were true. Meanwhile, the sisterhood of Olympus, the goddesses who were already jealous of Psyche's beauty and the attention she received from Eros, also constantly spread rumors and pulled strings behind her back. They tried to convince Eros that Psyche was only using him to advance in the divine world. "Eros, that girl is just pretending to love you," one goddess said with a sympathetic tone. "Actually, she's aiming for Zeus' power and wealth." "That's right, Eros," another goddess added. "She's just a cunning opportunist. Don't let her deceive you." The lies repeated many times finally began to take effect. Eros, in a fit of blind jealousy, gradually lost faith in Psyche. Eros, in a fit of jealousy and disappointment, disappeared from Earth. He no longer wanted to see loving couples, no longer wanted to bestow love on anyone. He locked his magic, not bothering to shoot hearts at anyone anymore, making the human world gloomy and devoid of love. Psyche remained on Olympus, alone, facing the gossip and scrutinizing eyes of the gods. She cried her eyes out in the long nights, desperately missing Eros. But she bit her lip and endured, not wanting to appear weak in front of those who were gloating and wanted to see her fail. Once, when Eros finally agreed to meet Psyche after many days of Cold War, Psyche gave him a piece of her mind. "Psyche, you got jealous without even asking me a question. You believe everyone else more than you believe me. Then bye-bye forever. I don't have time to play cat and mouse with you." Psyche crossed her arms, her eyes blazing at Eros. Eros, straining his neck to argue, "You still dare to talk back? All of Olympus is buzzing that you're flirting with Zeus. I'm the god of love, and if I get horned, how can I ever face anyone again?" Eros pointed wildly, his voice full of agitation. "Psyche, you think I would go flirting with a lecherous old man like Zeus? Did you get poisoned by your own love arrows? Wait a minute. Could it be that you're the one who shot yourself by mistake?" Psyche smirked knowingly. "Eros, what do you mean?" Eros looked bewildered. "Psyche, I mean, could it be that you fantasized this whole thing and got jealous all by yourself? You should probably get your arrow shooting system checked." Psyche scoffed. "Eros, you dare to say I fantasized?" Eros' eyes widened. "Psyche, then how do you explain the fact that I didn't have any secret dates with Zeus? Or do you think I have the ability to teleport to the royal garden without you knowing?" Psyche raised an eyebrow. Eros flustered, but everyone says. "Psyche, everyone? You believe everyone more than you believe me? Then go ahead and love everyone. I don't have time for relationships that lack trust." Psyche turned and walked away, leaving Eros standing there bewildered. In another conversation, when Eros tried to make amends with Psyche. "Eros, Psyche, I'm sorry, I was too angry and jealous. I know it wasn't your fault." Eros took Psyche's hand with a remorseful look. Psyche, pulling her hand away, "You're sorry is just one apology enough. Do you know how I felt when you didn't believe me?" Psyche's voice choked with emotion. "Eros, I know, I was wrong, but I really love you. I don't want to lose you." Eros bowed his head. "Psyche, if you really loved me, you should have believed me, not those silly rumors. Love without trust is like a castle built on sand." Psyche looked at Eros with sad eyes. "Eros, then what do you want me to do for you to forgive me?" Eros asked anxiously. "Psyche, I don't know anymore. Maybe you need to think about it yourself. I need time." Psyche turned away, leaving Eros with a broken heart. In this mess of love drama, Zeus appeared completely innocent. Known for being a philandering god who loved to hit on beautiful girls, Zeus simply flirting with Psyche was just a hard-to-break habit of his. Zeus had no dark intentions towards Psyche other than wanting to tease a little for fun. "Hello Psyche, you look radiant today," Zeus once said to Psyche with his trademark deadly smile. "Your beauty shines even brighter than the dawn on Mount Olympus." Psyche only politely returned Zeus's compliment in a social manner, not thinking anything more of it. She always kept her distance from other gods, especially those known to be womanizers like Zeus. But Zeus's harmless words inadvertently became evidence in the eyes of those who loved to gossip on Olympus. They believed that Zeus was deliberately trying to seduce Psyche, and Psyche was also turning on the green light in response. The jealousy of the Olympus goddesses towards Psyche played a significant role in fanning the flames of rumors. They already disliked Psyche because she was a mortal who dared to climb high and love the son of the goddess of love and beauty. Now that they had another opportunity to bring down Psyche, they tried even harder to spread rumors and pull strings behind her back. They constantly belittled Psyche in front of Eros, trying to make him lose faith in his lover. They even fabricated thrilling stories about Psyche secretly meeting Zeus, even adding spice with sensitive details to make Eros even more jealous. In this mess of love drama, Zeus appeared completely innocent on the surface. In truth, deep in the mind of the king of the gods, it was perhaps just a bit of boredom and a hard-to-break habit. Olympus sometimes became dull with endless parties and endless arguments about power. The appearance of Psyche, a mortal with extraordinary beauty and rare innocence, had sparked a fleeting interest in him. "Hello, Psyche, you look radiant today," Zeus once said to Psyche with his trademark deadly smile. "Your beauty shines even brighter than the dawn on Mount Olympus." In his heart, Zeus simply wanted to see her reaction, a small pleasure for the powerful. He was used to goddesses and mortals being timid and flattering before his charm. Psyche's polite and somewhat distant response made him feel a little strange, an interesting difference from his previous lovers. However, Zeus had no serious intentions or dark intentions towards Psyche. For him, this was just a small pastime, a way to stir up the boredom on Mount Olympus. But Zeus's harmless words inadvertently became evidence in the eyes of those who loved to gossip on Olympus. They believed that Zeus was deliberately trying to seduce Psyche, and Psyche was also turning on the green light in response. The jealousy of the Olympus goddesses towards Psyche played a significant role in fanning the flames of rumors. And it wasn't just gloating. Hera, Zeus's wife, known for her jealous and suspicious nature, couldn't help but frown when she heard the gossip. She glanced at Psyche with cold eyes, a feeling of displeasure rising in her heart. Although she didn't believe Zeus had any deep feelings for a mortal, Hera was still annoyed by the attention Psyche received, especially from her husband. The god Apollo, the god of light and music, had a different view. He was a keen observer and somewhat wise. Apollo noticed the sincerity and purity in Psyche's eyes. He felt sorry for the beautiful love between her and Eros and didn't believe the rumors were true. However, Apollo was a discreet person and didn't want to get involved in the complex love dramas on Olympus, so he quietly observed the situation. The cunning messenger god Hermes saw this as a great opportunity for entertainment. Hermes was the one who released the humorous memes of Psyche and Zeus, contributing to the viral spread of the rumors. He enjoyed watching Eros's confusion and jealousy, seeing it as an amusing prank. Even other high-ranking gods like Poseidon or Hades couldn't ignore this rumor storm. They often exchanged views during their meetings, discussing the matter as an entertaining story. Some felt sorry for Eros, while others were curious about Psyche's true identity. Aphrodite and her cronies couldn't hide their gloating, and they tried even harder to add fuel to the fire. They constantly belittled Psyche in front of Eros, trying to make him lose faith in his lover. They even fabricated thrilling stories about Psyche secretly meeting Zeus, even adding spice with sensitive details to make Eros even more jealous. The initial rumors were ridiculous. "Psyche and Zeus? What a joke. She's mine, my love. How could a small mortal catch the eye of the king of the gods?" I laughed when I first heard the whispers. But then they kept buzzing in my ears more and more, becoming more and more winged. My mother, with her suggestive tone, constantly planted seeds of doubt in my heart. "My beloved son," she said, her face full of fake sympathy, "that mortal girl. Who knows what her own schemes might be?" Then the other goddesses, those who were always jealous of my happiness, also chimed in, weaving increasingly thrilling stories. They said they had seen her secretly meeting Zeus, that she was using me to advance herself. Gradually, doubt began to gnaw at my heart. Images of Psyche and Zeus together, though just products of imagination, kept haunting me. One evening, I couldn't take it anymore. When Psyche just entered the room, I coldly asked her, "Where did you go yesterday?" "I just went for a walk in the flower garden," she replied, her eyes looking at me in surprise. "Just a walk? I heard you met Zeus there." My voice couldn't hide the suspicion. "Are you listening to those silly rumors again?" She seemed hurt and resentful. "I told you Zeus and I have nothing going on." "Then why is everyone saying that? How do you explain those photos?" I angrily threw out that ridiculous photo Hermes had created, the one showing Psyche and Zeus embracing. It was absurd, but at that moment, jealousy had clouded my judgment. Psyche looked at the photo, her face astonished. This isn't me who made this up. Are you still denying it? I roared, disappointment surging through me. I'm so disappointed in you. After that, I began to distance myself from her. I no longer wanted to be near her, no longer wanted to hear her voice. Every time we accidentally met, I tried to avoid her. I was in pain, but the suspicion was greater than the pain. Why don't you believe me, Eros? She cried, her voice choked with sobs as she tried to talk to me. I have always loved you sincerely. I remained silent, not daring to look into her eyes. I was afraid that if I did, my suspicion would vanish and I would believe her again. But deep down, I still couldn't shake the thought that she had betrayed me. My silence must have made her desperate. Then, she also began to keep her distance from me. No more explanations, no more attempts to hold on. Perhaps she understood I no longer trusted her. I had thought these peaceful days would last forever. Being with Eros on Mount Olympus with no more nasty challenges from my future mother-in-law, I had believed that happiness had finally smiled upon me. But then the whispers began. At first I didn't pay attention, thinking they were just the usual gossip on Mount Olympus. But when I heard more clearly, I couldn't believe my ears. People were rumored that I was hooking up with Zeus. It was such a ridiculous and absurd story. Zeus and I had only met a few times by chance, and our conversations revolved around ordinary social topics. I rushed to Eros to explain, but the look in his eyes was no longer tender and trusting as before. Instead, it was cold and suspicious. Don't you believe me, Eros? I asked him, my heart aching, but he just remained silent, turning his face away. Then things got even worse. One evening, he coldly asked me where I had gone yesterday. I had just gone for a walk in the flower garden, but he suspected me of meeting Zeus. I tried to explain, but he wouldn't listen. He even threw a strange photo at me, a picture of Zeus and me embracing. I couldn't believe my eyes. That wasn't me who was trying to harm me like this. Are you still denying it? He roared, the anger in his eyes frightening me. I'm so disappointed in you. After that, Eros began to avoid me. He no longer came to me, no longer said loving words. I felt extremely hurt and resentful. I was innocent, but no one believed me. The person I loved the most suspected me just because of baseless rumors. I felt lonely and lost in this strange, divine world. Why don't you believe me, Eros? I sobbed in one attempt to talk to him. I have always loved you sincerely. But Eros remained silent, his eyes as cold as ice. That silence made me even more desperate. Finally, I decided I wouldn't beg or explain anymore. If he didn't trust me, then I didn't need to try to hold on to this relationship anymore. Eros and I had entered a cold war, and my heart ached more than ever. Eros, his jealousy boiling like hellfire, his disappointment as heavy as a stone weighing on his heart. He couldn't bear another moment in this place where lies and suspicion had destroyed their beautiful love. With a choked cry, he vanished into thin air like a whirlwind, leaving Olympus and Psyche in darkness. Eros's disappearance was not just a simple absence. The power of the god of love, which was the lifeblood of so many hearts on earth, also faded with him. No more invisible Eros of love flying around, no more sudden fluttering sensations, no more eyes meeting with passionate gazes. The human world sank into a gloomy, cold atmosphere. Couples in love suddenly felt an invisible distance, and lonely hearts became even emptier. Love, which was supposed to be the meaning of life and joy, seemed to have fallen asleep, or worse, had completely disappeared. Eros had locked his magic, a silent vow to the world that he would never so love again. His golden and silver bows lay still in their leather pouch, no longer used to connect kindred spirits. Meanwhile, Psyche remained on Olympus, alone like a dry leaf in the cold winter. The vast marble corridors became emptier and more terrifying than ever. The gossip, which had previously been just fleeting whispers, now became invisible arrows piercing her heart. Every glance from the gods carried scrutiny, even gloating at seeing her alone. Night fell and Psyche curled up in the cold room, tears falling incessantly like drizzling rain. Images of Eros, his warm smile, his gentle eyes kept flashing in her mind, tormenting her bleeding heart. She remembered their secret dates under the moonlight, the sweet whispers, the stolen kisses. All that was left were painful memories. But Psyche was not someone who would easily give up. Although her heart was shattered, she gritted her teeth and endured. She didn't want to show her weakness to those who were gloating. She held her head high, walking amidst the gossip like a resilient queen. Deep down, she held on to the hope that the truth would be revealed and Eros would realize her innocence. She would not let lies and jealousy destroy her true love. The loneliness and longing for Eros only strengthened her, an ember burning in her heart, waiting for the day it would ignite. Finally, he deigned to appear. After so many days of Cold War, I was ready to give him a piece of my mind. He got jealous without even asking me a question. He believed the rumors more than he believed me. How ridiculous. I crossed my arms, looking straight into his eyes, trying to keep my voice firm. You got jealous without even asking me a question. You believe everyone else more than you believe me. Then bye-bye forever. I don't have time to play cat and mouse with you. I knew my eyes were blazing, and I wanted him to see my anger clearly. She dares to give me attitude. All of Olympus is buzzing about her and Zeus, and she still dares to raise her voice at me. I am the god of love, the symbol of love, and yet I've been horned. It's an unacceptable humiliation. I strained my neck to argue back, pointing wildly because I was so agitated. You still dare to talk back? All of Olympus is buzzing that you're flirting with Zeus. I'm the god of love, and if I get horned, how can I ever face anyone again? He thinks I would go flirting with a lecherous old man like Zeus. Is he blind or something? Wait a minute. An idea suddenly flashed in my mind. Could it be that he's the one causing this? I smirked knowingly. You think I would go flirting with a lecherous old man like Zeus? Did you get poisoned by your own love arrows? Wait a minute. Could it be that you're the one who shot yourself by mistake? What does she mean? I don't understand what she's implying. I looked at her bewildered, trying to decipher the strange smile on her lips. What do you mean? I looked at him, trying not to laugh at his bewildered expression. I mean, could it be that you fantasized this whole thing and got jealous all by yourself? You should probably get your arrow shooting system checked. I scoffed, hoping he would realize the absurdity of his accusations. She dares to say I fantasized? I stared at her, unable to believe what I had just heard. Was she deliberately mocking me? You dare to say I fantasized? I raised an eyebrow at him. Then how do you explain the fact that I didn't have any secret dates with Zeus? Or do you think I have the ability to teleport to the royal garden without you knowing? I wanted him to give a reasonable explanation, but I knew he wouldn't be able to. I was flustered. She was right, I had no proof, but everyone was saying so, but everyone says. I sighed, feeling tired of this lack of trust. Everyone? You believe everyone more than you believe me? Then go ahead and love everyone. I don't have time for relationships that lack trust. I turned and walked away, leaving him standing there, bewildered and perhaps regretful. I couldn't stand this silence anymore. I knew I was wrong. I was too angry and jealous. I really loved Psyche and I didn't want to lose her. I took her hand, trying to convey my remorse through my eyes. Psyche, I'm sorry. I was too angry and jealous. I know it wasn't your fault. He's sorry? Can just one apology erase all the hurt I've endured? I pulled my hand away, looking at him with tear-filled eyes. You're sorry? Is just one apology enough? Do you know how I felt when you didn't believe me? I bowed my head, feeling ashamed of my actions. I knew I had hurt her deeply. I know, I was wrong, but I really love you. I don't want to lose you. I looked at him, my heart still aching. If you really loved me, you should have believed me, not those silly rumors. Love without trust is like a castle built on sand, I said, my voice choked with emotion. I looked at her anxiously. I was ready to do anything to fix my mistake. Then what do you want me to do for you to forgive me? I don't know anymore. I need time to think, to heal these wounds. I don't know anymore. Maybe you need to think about it yourself. I need time. I turned away, leaving him with a broken heart just like mine had been. Psyche and Eros were openly angry with each other, and the atmosphere between them became more tense and cold than ever. The love they had painstakingly nurtured was now shaking violently in the storm of jealousy and malicious rumors. Aphrodite and her cronies couldn't hide their gloating. They secretly clapped their hands in glee, thinking that their play to separate Psyche and Eros had succeeded. They believed that a mortal like Psyche could never be worthy of a god of love like Eros, and they had finally proven it. But can true love be so easily broken? Can Psyche and Eros overcome this challenge to find the trust and love they once had? The answer remains open, holding many surprises in the chapters to come.